For 30 long years, I believe my purpose was to be the pillar, the one who held everything together, no matter the cost, no matter the ache in my own heart. After my husband Michael passed, that pillar became a vault, and my only son, Julian, and his wife, Sasha, held the key. They didn't just hold it, they rattled it whenever they needed something. And I, like a fool, kept opening the door. The day the foundation cracked started with a phone call. I was standing in my bedroom closet, holding a pale lavender dress, the one I'd bought specifically for my son's wedding. The tags were still on it. The receipt was folded neatly in the pocket of my purse. I had pictured myself walking into that venue, smiling, proud, the mother of the groom in soft spring colors. Julian, honey, I just need to know the final date for the wedding. The stress isn't going to wait forever. I even got the matching shoes. There was a shuffling sound on the other end, a muffled whisper. Then Sasha's voice came on, smooth as ice, sweet as poisoned honey. Oh, Auntie Vivian, we actually got married yesterday. It was so spontaneous, so intimate. We only invited our immediate circle, special people. Just parents, a few close friends, nothing big. We didn't want to stress anyone out. Special people. The words didn't just hit me, they dissolved me, like acid on paper. I was the one who had paid the $800 a month rent on their downtown apartment for 2 full years. 24 transfers every first of the month, like clockwork. I was the one who bought the king-size bed they slept in, the one with the memory foam mattress because Sasha said her back hurt. I was the one who filled the refrigerator they ate from. Weekly grocery runs, 150 here, 200 there, always rounding up just in case. I was the one who just last month handed Sasha $1,500 in crisp hundreds for her dream wedding dress. A dress I now realize I would never see her walk down the aisle in. And I was not a special person. I looked at my hand, still clutching the phone. It felt like it was made of stone. My reflection in the closet mirror looked back at me. Graying hair, tired eyes, lipstick slightly smudged from nervous biting. I saw the lavender dress pulled on the floor like a discarded skin. A $250 monument to my own foolishness. The shoes sat beside it, still in their box, untouched. That night, I didn't sleep. I didn't even try. I sat at the old oak kitchen table, the same table where I'd packaged up care packages for them with little notes that said, "Thinking of you." The same table where I'd counted out cash for their bills, folded it in envelopes and driven it across town myself because Zelle was acting up. Tonight, I opened my laptop. I pulled up 3 years of bank statements. I printed them. I highlighted every transfer, every Venmo, every emergency withdrawal. Rent is $800 times 24 months is $19,200. Furniture and appliances, bed, couch, TV, kitchen set, $4,500. Wedding dress and honeymoon fund, $3,000. Groceries, emergencies, cash gifts, Ubers, phone bills, $7,300. Miscellaneous, concert tickets, vet bills for their cat, parking tickets, $1,900. $33,900. $33,900. That was the price to being family. That was the cost of love, apparently. Drained straight from the retirement fund Michael had built for me over 35 years of 60-hour weeks, overtime, skipped vacations, and clipped coupons. All to be told, over the phone, no less, that I wasn't special enough to watch my only son say, "I do." The tears that came then weren't from sadness. They were hot. They burned. They were pure, undiluted rage. I'd been a fool, a generous, loving, open-handed, bleeding heart fool. But fools can wake up, and I was wide awake. I let the song ring once, twice, 3 times, and I picked up. Sasha! Oh, Auntie Vivian! Hi! I know things are a little weird right now, but the rent is due tomorrow. Our landlord is being so nasty about it, threatening late fees. You forgot to send the transfer this month. It's okay. I know you've been distracted. I let the silence hang in the air like a guillotine. I could hear her nervous breathing. I pictured her curled up on the gray velvet sofa I bought at Macy's in the apartment I'd paid for, wearing the silk robe I gifted her last Christmas. I waited until I heard her shift uncomfortably. "Sasha," I said, my voice as calm as a frozen lake in January. "Isn't that something you should ask for a special person?" The silence on the other end was deafening. Then a sputter, a gasp. "What? Auntie Vivian, what does that mean? We're family. You're being cruel." "Are we?" I asked softly, almost kindly. "My family wouldn't have gotten married without me. My family wouldn't have used my money to fund their intimate little secret. My family would have invited me to watch my son take his vows." I hung up. For the first time in 3 years, my hands weren't shaking. They were steady. They were done. The next morning, Julian showed up at my door unannounced. He didn't knock. He used the spare key I had given them for emergencies. He stormed in, face twisted in hurt, in accusation like I was the one who had betrayed him. "Mom, how could you?" he said, pushing past me into the living room. "Sasha's devastated. She cried all night. We're under so much pressure. Work, bills, the new apartment fees. You're acting so irrational, so cold." Then came the threat, delivered with the casual arrogance of someone who has never been told no. "We're worried about you, Mom. All this stress, living alone in this big house. We've spoken to a lawyer. We think maybe you're not capable of managing your own finances anymore. A power of attorney would make things easier for everyone. We just want to help." My blood ran cold. They weren't just asking for money anymore. They were trying to take it. All of it. They saw me as a senile old woman who was misbehaving, a cash cow with dementia. But the woman standing before him wasn't senile. She was furious, and she was finally perfectly clear. "Get out of my house, Julian," I said, my voice low, unshaking, "and tell your lawyer that the Bank of Mom is permanently closed, effective immediately. No more deposits, no more withdrawals, no more interest. It's bankrupt because of you." He opened his mouth, closed it, his face flushed red. "You can't do this," he whispered. "You need us." "No," I said. "You needed me, and you used me up. Now get out." They followed through. Of course they did. They filed the papers within the week. They brought a family therapist to court, a slick man in a cheap suit who testified that my sudden financial cutoff was a sign of emotional instability, early onset dementia, maybe even paranoia. He'd never met me before. He'd never seen my spreadsheets. But I had a secret weapon, the truth. My lawyer, Miss Jones, a brilliant, no-nonsense woman with a voice like a judge's gavel, entered my bank statements into evidence, page after page, highlighted, annotated. She made Julian take the stand, made him admit under oath that I was not at the wedding, that my $1,500 paid for Sasha's dress, that my $19,200 kept a roof over their heads, that my furniture filled their home. She made Sasha cry, real tears this time, when she asked, Did you invite Mrs. Vivian to your wedding? Sasha's answer was, "It was spontaneous." Miss Jones, spontaneous enough to plan a dress, a venue, and a honeymoon, but not to call his mother? The judge, a woman with sharp eyes, silver hair, and zero patience for nonsense, didn't just deny their petition. She called their actions a transparent, calculated, and cruel attempt at financial exploitation of a vulnerable elder. She warned them that any further contact regarding my finances could be considered harassment. She even suggested I file for a restraining order. The gavel sounded. It was over. I had won. I didn't go home to gloat. I didn't call them. I didn't post about it. I went to the travel agency on Elm Street, the one with the faded posters of Tuscany in the window. I used the money I was no longer sending to Julian, $800 a month, plus groceries, plus emergencies, to book a solo trip to Italy. Florence, Rome, Cinque Terre, a place Michael and I had always dreamed of, but never went because the kids needed braces, the car broke down, rent was due. I sold the house, the one with the creaking stairs and the kitchen table full of ghosts. I moved into a bright, modern apartment downtown. High ceilings, big windows, a balcony with a view of the river. No spare keys, no care packages, no late-night calls about just $200 until Friday. I heard through the grapevine, through a mutual friend who still felt guilty, that Julian and Sasha had to move into a tiny one-bedroom in the suburbs, that Sasha had to get a job at a boutique, real hours, real bosses, real rejection. That Julian took the bus to work. I feel a pang, of course. He is my son. Blood doesn't erase easily. But the pang is quieter now, smaller. It lives beside the peace I feel every morning when I wake up and the only person I need to take care of is myself. Some nights I sit on my new balcony with a glass of Chianti in my hand, watching the stars reflect on the water. I think about the woman who cried on the closet floor over a lavender dress. She feels like a stranger, a relic, a version of me that no longer exists. My name is Vivian. I am 64 years old. I was a wife. I was a mother. I was a bank. Now I am just free. And I have learned that the most important invitation you will ever receive is the one you send to yourself, to start living your own life on your own terms without apology. They told me they could use my love against me. They didn't know it would become my greatest strength. They didn't know that love, when weaponized, can cut both ways, and I wielded it like a blade. What would you have done when you heard those words? We only invited special people. Would you have stayed silent, kept giving, or would you have closed the vault and walked away? I read every comment. Your stories give me life, courage, and fire. Please share yours below. Let's build a community of women who refuse to be used. If you believe in second acts, in standing up no matter how long it takes, in choosing yourself, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, turn on notifications. There are so many more stories of courage, revenge, redemption, and new beginnings waiting for you. With all my heart, this is Auntie Vivian. Until next time, go live your life. You've earned it.